Welcome to episode 23 of Discovering Nagasaki from Local. My name is Chad, and this is where you can experience everyday life in this scenic and fascinating part of Japan. So far, only Daniel Hazen was able to correctly answer both of last week's vlog questions. The first question was, what is the 5-letter word that is directly above the model name on my Honda cultivator? The answer is salad. The second question was, which running animal is pictured in the green statue in front of Transcosmos Stadium? The answer is a horse. And now for this week's crash course in kanji root particles. Group J kanji root particles include tree, harvest, article, forest, hemp, book or basis, not yet, last part, resin, rice, bundle, and east. I will cover Group K kanji root particles next week. Anyone who has an interest in Japanese food, fine arts, or martial arts will benefit from a basic knowledge of kanji. In today's vlog, I will show you how to make a delicious Japanese appetizer called Kimiho no Tazokuri, or caramelized almond and herring. I will also give you a quick and interesting tour of Umikirara, the aquarium in Sasebo. Let's get started. To make Kimiho no Tazokuri, I will use the following ingredients: 40 grams of almond slices, 60 grams of kibinago, dried baby herring, 150 grams of water, 120 grams of brown sugar, 15 grams of vinegar, and 50 grams of sesame seeds. First, I'll put the almond slices in a fry pan and turn on the heat. Then I'll use a wooden spoon to make sure that I brown the almonds rather than burn them. After about 4 minutes on a low heat, the almonds are browned and ready to transfer to a dish. I'll use this wooden spoon for the transfer. Now that I've cleared the fry pan, I will add the dried baby herring and brown them separately. Although they don't look that appetizing in the package, these dried fish contain a lot of calcium and taste great in a caramelized dish like this. Again, I have to make sure that I don't burn the fish or fry any plastic with the fish. After about 4 minutes on a low heat, the dried herring are brown and ready to transfer to a dish. Here's what one of them looks like up close. Delicious, right? Instead of kibinago, you can use iriko or dried baby sardines for this dish. I'll transfer them to the same plate holding the almonds. Now I have to use the heated fry pan one more time to create the caramel. First I add the water, the brown sugar, and the vinegar to the fry pan, and then I stir it around with a wooden spoon. It took me 8 minutes or so on a low heat to reduce this mixture to this consistency. You want a froth of hot, sticky bubbles before you add the other ingredients. Now I'll add the browned herring, the browned almond slices, and the sesame seeds to the froth on the fry pan. I need to completely cover all of these other ingredients with the caramel froth before it starts to harden on the fry pan. This is quite easy to do with a wooden spoon or a spatula. You can see that the caramel is already starting to harden. I'll continue to heat the fry pan to speed up the hardening process. After a few more minutes of stirring and heating, the caramelized mixture is ready to transfer to a serving plate. In this case, I'll use the same plate. This mixture has to be spread out on the plate with a wooden spoon or spatula and allowed to cool for several minutes at room temperature. At this point, it's a bit too hot to eat. Now this appetizer is ready to eat. I'll use some chopsticks to break apart some of the clumps and transfer them to Yasko's favorite dish, her feline bowl from Wiebke in Germany. It's quite easy to make, and I'm sure you'll find the taste addictive. We often make this appetizer for our cafe patrons in Omura. I'm now at the Umikirara Aquarium in Nagasaki. As you can see from the blue sign, it's also referred to as the Kyujukyushima or 99 Island Aquarium. It was first opened to the public 10 years ago in July of 2010. The first thing you see when you enter this aquarium is this display. The aquarium has 3 floors and is divided into the 10 sections that are shown on the wall. In the hall section, you can see the stairs to the 2nd floor, and behind me an area to view small pools of marine life. Here you can see some tropical fish like this Clark's anemone fish, an orange and blue striped parrotfish, and a small poisonous boxfish. This is a tank with a couple of curious filefish, kawahagi, in it. Here are some large blowfish or fugu on display in this tank. In this shallow pool there are a couple of lobster or ise ebi. In this deep tank you can see a large number of striped tropical cichlid fish. And over on the right, a large loggerhead sea turtle, akaumi game. Under this interesting display, you can see a conger eel, anago, a sea cucumber, namako, and a starfish, hitode. In this tank there are 2 different types of angelfish, some domino damselfish, a boxfish, and on the bottom, a lionfish, minokasago. This aquarium also has some rather dangerous freshwater fish that are thankfully not indigenous to Japan, piranhas. You definitely don't want to stick your fingers in this pool. And here is an underwater view of the 3 bottlenose dolphins at this aquarium. Later on I will show you an above water view of their performance here at Umikirara. This rather large fish tank contains quite a variety of marine life. You can see a small nurse shark, komorizame, swimming near the bottom, and many herring, nishin, swimming in a circle on top. As I get closer to the plexiglass, you can see a Goliath grouper, hata, and many yellowtails, hamachi, swimming above. Here's the view from the top of the same fish tank. You can see many yellowtails, 2 Goliath groupers, and a hammerhead shark, shumokuzame, swimming below. And here's the tank with 2 large horseshoe crabs, kabutogani, in it. Along this wall is a series of displays showcasing the pearls, shinju, that are grown and harvested from the Kyujukyushima waters, not far from this aquarium. In this dark room you can see many UV light irradiated jellyfish, kurage, on display in this tank. And now it's time to see 3 highlights from the bottlenose dolphin, Bando Iruka, performance at this aquarium. Watch these dolphins jump and toss a ball. This time 2 of the dolphins will play catch with a large black ball. Now it's time to see which of these 3 dolphins can jump the highest. To conclude this tour, here are some of my close-up aquarium photos, starting with an albino seahorse, an elbow crab, a horseshoe crab, a sturgeon, a filefish, 2 blowfish, a Goliath grouper, a lionfish, a Clark's anemone fish, a giant albino spiny lobster, a loggerhead turtle, an orange and blue striped parrotfish, and 3 bottlenose dolphins. And now for this week's challenging questions. First, what was in the plastic package that I removed from the fry pan when I started to brown the herring? Second, how many fugu were swimming in their own pool at Umikirara Aquarium? Be the first to correctly answer both of these questions in the comments section below. You can find a complete list of the contents of my vlog episodes on the Facebook link listed below. Support this vlog channel by giving this episode a thumbs up and by sharing it on social media with the people you know. Today's B-roll involved cooking, so in episode 24, my B-roll involved baking. See you next week.